Supercars never do 8-minute qualifying sessions again. They are rubbish.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Motorsport. We're your hosts Daniel and Alex, and we're here for the Supercars pod, our very own Supercar pod. What a weekend, Alex. They're at Taupo. I'm going to call it Taupo. I know it has many, many names. Even the Kiwis like to call it different names. But the racing was excellent. What do you think?
Oh, mate, what a weekend. The action-packed is the very least I'd describe it as, because the racing was insane. The stewards letting the boys race hard too. Like, genuinely some hard-fought racing. And once again, Taupo delivered. I said in the preview video that I think this is be one of the most exciting on-track races, and it delivered. So far, at least, this year.
Yeah, and I think my favourite part was what you said. They are allowed to race. And we saw that with the amount of bumping going on, especially between Ryan Wood and Brody Kostecki, even though Ryan ended up getting a penalty for that. But that was great fun to watch. I just love the tough. It reminds me of, remember back when V8 Utes began? It was called the V8 Brutes. This is the V8 Brutes right here. They were brute.
That's gone real far back. No, but they were brutal. The Mostert Kostecki battle was off the charts until, unfortunately, Brody damaged his own car. But that was the highlight for me of the weekend. Like the Ryan Wood Brody Kostecki thing was cool, but it went a touch too far. The only thing that was cool from it that came out of it was the awesome edit that Supercars posted. Through goes Hamilton.
I actually think it was Matt Stone Racing.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
But that made me laugh, and they did it really quickly too. It was only like lap 20 of the race, and they already posted it.
Well, good work for them to be in a position like that, though, to actually take the lead early on.
Yeah, well, I did ask the question in the preview. I was like, is Melbourne going to be like a one-hit wonder of them? And they did. Cam Hill did say that. Like, we don't want that just to be our only success this year. Like, we want to, because last year it was, Nick Perk out of podium, and then from then on you didn't see him again. But already Cam Hill 2 podiums, 3 rounds.
It's not bad. And speaking of them, speaking of Chev, obviously Team 18 is now the homologation team for next season, and Matt Stone Racing have lost out on that. Do you reckon they will stay Chevy, or do you reckon they might switch over to?
I think they'll stay Chevy. I will say though, despite the no podiums of the weekend, Team 18 destroyed Newlon Premier Racing. They smashed them. So, when I say they, Anton De Pasquale, Reynolds, I saw at the back. I saw at the back of the field quite a lot. So we'll see. But we'll get into manufacturers changes, because we can't take away from Matt Payne, who won 2 out of 3 races, including the last. Won the Jason Richards Trophy. Like, what a weekend for the Kiwis. You said Kiwis would win.
Yeah, Kiwis are always strong around here.
You got the wrong one.
The wrong Kiwi.
But at least the one you said got a podium.
Well, I'm still amazed by that. I was hoping he could have,
Ryan Wood,
maybe he could have won.
We're talking about.
Yeah, Ryan Wood. Maybe he could have won if it wasn't for that tangle with Kostecki.
He had the pace.
He was definitely up there all weekend, but Matt Payne, man, he was just unreal this weekend. It's fantastic to see, obviously, him do well and the team do well, but also just the fact that a Kiwi does well.
Kiwis always do well,
home,
man. They always do well. It's weird. It's like they turn up for other rounds, but when they're home, it really means a lot to them, and they just turn it on. Like, it was a Matt Payne, probably Brody Kostecki battle all weekend.
And how good is it to see Kostecki up there? DJR up there again. A double podium once again, 12 months on from when they first got it.
Yeah, they did it again, didn't they? Yeah.
So that was a good surprise. Hopefully they can keep that up this year. Kostecki looked extremely pumped. It was so happy to see Kostecki that happy.
And also quite down when he knew he made a mistake to win the race. Like, last year he probably wouldn't have been like, still third's all right. But he was generally meant to win that race. But Chaz Mostert beat him to it. And you could see how deflated he was about that, damaging his
After
car in the
actually,
pit
that
lane.
reminds me too. The penalty between him and Ryan Wood, they were both actually bizarred by that because Kostecki thought it was actually a fair game.
Really?
Like, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't disappointed over the move Ryan did. Apparently, from the sounds of it.
Well, actually,
So,
you know what's
yeah.
funny? Larko was doing a replay of like, why did he get a penalty? And basically
Yeah.
said, he ran him off the track. There wasn't a car's width, but there actually was. If you watch the replay again,
Yeah.
Brody was in the marbles and just
Right.
couldn't keep it on the track.
Yeah.
They didn't ever bump, I don't think. But there was a car's width there, just.
Yeah.
I will say
He
just.
just squeezed him wide. That's all. But
Yeah.
because the thing is, he didn't intentionally do it heading into the corner. It's just the way he left the corner, left the apex. It was pretty wide. But he ended up being in. Kostecki was in front of him anyway by the next corner. But the thing is, the other way around.
He ran off.
Because Kostecki ran off on his own. Like, he wasn't able to hold. He carried too much speed into the next corner and that's when goes through Hamilton.
Yeah, that's when the moment happened. Yeah. But then Cam Hill took advantage, and he didn't ever look like he was the favourite horse there, though. Cam Hill, he looked like it was always going to be a bit of a struggle to keep the lead. Matt Payne bulldozed his way through. I think he got an inspiration from Chaz Mostert the day before.
Yeah,
because that battle was quite crazy, and that turn 4 ended up being a real turn 4 was a hot spot for passing, not even turn 5.
Yeah, definitely.
That brought up a lot of action too. But I really like that Taupo track. Like that track is wild.
Have you done it on the sim yet?
No, I really haven't. Hopefully iRacing will go there. They need a Kiwi track. There isn't one yet.
No, there isn't. Hey, good point. They've scanned Pukekohe, but they've never done anything to it. Before it shut down. So hopefully that magically comes back one day. The track on iRacing. Speaking of Cam Hill not doing as well as you thought, I think overall Chevy struggled this weekend, especially Triple Eight. They had a horrible weekend. But when I say horrible, I mean Will Brown still was able to get a decent amount of points on his teammate Brock Feeney. Brock Feeney, I always say, and we've seen it many, many times, especially Adelaide last year, Brown does really well climbing back up to the field, climbing through the field, whereas Feeney seems to struggle every now and again.
Yeah, the way I describe it is that Brown recovers better than Feeney does. Let's just say that. But the whole weekend was a disaster. Like for the last race, neither of them qualified in the 10. Brock Feeney started 20th. Like that's just not acceptable for what is still the top team for Chevy. But they were chasing the car for the whole week, even in the race. Like generally, the Saturday races, they had no pace. Will Brown pit like 3-4 laps before everybody else. Like that was just a disaster from the very beginning. So to see Red Bull have a struggling weekend like that is very rare.
It's rare, yeah.
But
they still lead.
They still lead.
They lead with 200 points for now.
And Will Brown does still lead the championship because him and Cam Waters actually swapped for the for the second Saturday race. Then Will Brown got it back on Sunday. But if I look at the championship standings, which I have up now, there is a new third place. And that is Matt Payne, who has taken third place off Brock Feeney after his 2 victories of the weekend. Where did he finish in race 2? 4th. So he had 2 wins and a 4th. Like that's pretty good. That's really, really good.
Compared to Brock, who was outside the 10. Was he always outside the 10 the whole time? Or?
No, I'll get it up. I'll find it. Race 1, he was 15th. Race 2, he was... where is it? 5th.
Okay.
And race 3, 7th.
Oh, well, it's not...
He actually beat Will Brown in that race, considering he started 20th. So...
Well, backtrack to what I say, though.
Yeah.
Brown, but no, they're both talented drivers. I just think personally, Will Brown just can do it a little bit better. Like he can recover better, like you said.
Yeah, but what was also crazy is just there was no, like, neither team had a dominant weekend. I'd say, like, probably the most consistent team. I'd say probably was actually Shell.
Yeah,
DJR. I reckon they're the most consistent, like, as a team.
As a team, yeah, because Ryan,
good results.
Chaz, they were gapped. 888 were gapped. Tickford were gapped. So, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
Ty Allen had a shocker.
Yeah. Oh, how good though in the shootout for the first time.
Sorry, he finished 7th in race 1
on Sunday. Oh, race 1, yeah, he got taken out.
Race 2.
He got race 3. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, he had 2 top 10s.
Yeah, he made it into the top. He had his first top 10 shootout as a main driver, which was really cool to watch. But yeah, Matt Payne, we already know how talented he is, so there's no shock horror that he would have done that. No, it's just great.
And now he's put himself in a position to be a championship threat, as well as 6 other drivers.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep an eye out for Ryan Wood too.
Yeah,
because obviously his first podium in the main game was this weekend, and what a place to do it.
The only thing that is Ryan's downfall is consistency. Unfortunately, he just gets stuck in the wrong kind of places. Often, more often than not. But yeah, like I said, 6 drivers. Will Brown, Kev Waters, Matt Payne, Feeney, Mostert, and Kostecki are all within 111 points of each other in the championship.
And the best part is, right, it's obviously, there were the finals. If it's this close right now, think of what the finals is going to be like.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild, because obviously they're starting from 0 after Bathurst.
It's top 10, isn't it?
Top 10 of the championship post Bathurst.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a wild battle.
Oh, definitely, because the cool thing is, the battle is, we already get an idea of who to expect in that top.
Yeah.
Who is in the top? Let's have a look in the top, because obviously you said those guys, but we've also got
that was the 6.
Sam Hill, Anton, Randall, and Heimgartner as well. Obviously, still only around 3, so still early days. So Ryan Wood could definitely get up there. Davison could
Percat maybe. Kai Allen could even sneak in there if he keeps going the way he's going.
Paulie Jones.
Yeah. No.
April Fools was last week.
Yeah. Apparently Aaron... Oh, sorry. I thought Aaron Cameron was in it twice, but it's Aaron Love and then Aaron Cameron.
Who is also, by the way, Aaron Cameron is also now ahead of his of the previous Cool Drive driver, Aaron Love, in the championship.
Yeah.
After 2 rounds. But I've just calculated in my head that's 2 rounds. So never mind. That's expected.
Good work, Daniel.
Don't mind me. I understand how rounds work. But overall, it was a... Yes, you go.
Well, it was so interesting to see just everyone struggle. And also, you know who else struggled? The live timing for Supercars.
Oh my God. Did they even turn up?
They must have had, Wi-Fi issues the whole weekend because, boy, practice 1 had a half an hour delay to it, basically. It was just delayed.
And qualifying was
maybe it was the power station that was behind the track that just poured out so much smoke over the weekend. How crazy was that? Just a huge... I thought someone was doing a mad burnout when it started. And then they said, the power station.
That was wild.
It wasn't there last year.
Every time I look...
it wasn't on last year, was it? I don't think so.
Because every time I looked at it, I was like, what the hell's happening over there?
Yeah. Apparently it only produces 22... Well, only, but it produces 22% of New Zealand's power, that one place.
Jeez, I hate for it to screw up.
Yeah.
At least Supercars aren't in charge of that.
Yes. Yikes. Good point. There'll be a delay. Sorry for your services, but you can't have internet for a while. There's a 30-minute delay to the session.
What a mess that was. They're meant to be the premier category in Australia, the best touring car championship in the world, and they can't get timing right. See, F1, they had timing issues this weekend too. but not as much as supercars. Like supercars, literally straight off the bat before practice one, timing's not working.
Yeah, literally. At least
So
F1's broke during the race.
yeah, but I just feel like it just ruins a bit of the professionalism.
No, I agree. I agree.
I reckon they need to knuckle down.
Actually, speaking of getting things right, I want to bring up the topic of the qualifying sessions.
The format?
The format.
Yes, okay.
So, personally, I didn't actually know that they were going to use that Q1, Q2, Q3 rubbish.
Yeah.
Because I personally don't think it was necessary for this track.
I thought they got rid of that.
They use it at like Barbagallo because it's and Tassie because it's like a
smaller track,
50-second lap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it didn't need it here. And also, one thing that supercars don't do, which I'm scared if they even try this because it'll probably break, is it didn't.
Probably won't.
I joined the session. I think I joined the coverage in Q2, but I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it wasn't on the thing. It just said qualifying race, whatever it was, 8, 9, 10. So supercars add what session it is in the session. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because when I didn't tune in completely to qualifying, and when I saw that, and I saw, it was confusing.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
it confused the head. And they didn't even mention. Actually, they didn't even mention the timetable either.
No, it didn't mention. Like on the supercars website, it should say the qualifying format because supercars change everything so often. You need to promote it and make sure everyone understands what's going on. Because also, I don't think the graphic when I tuned in, which I think was still Q2, not even sure, didn't have the bottom ones kicked out.
Yeah,
like it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't highlighted that they were out.
Yeah, no, it really confused. Because even when we did the pre-show last week, when you were running through your schedule, I had there was no indication that was happening.
Because we were driving to Taylor and Ben on Friday when we hung out there, and we're like, a 30-minute qualifying session, that's a really long time. Not realizing that there's gaps in the middle and whatnot, because they didn't tell us that. So I know F1 says an hour for qualifying, but everyone knows that it's Q1,
Everyone
Q3.
knows that, yeah.
You know? Supercars keep changing their mind every 10 seconds, and it's confusing us even.
Yeah, because there's already so many different formats. Like, this is the 440 format with the 2 races, Saturday, 1 Sunday. Normally they have a race every day, and then we've got the finals. With too many formats, they need to clarify things. Like, at least F1 has, even on a sprint round, you can still easily understand what's going to happen, what to expect.
While you're doing that, I'm quickly going to look at the calendar because...
Oh, good. And while you're doing that, speaking of the format, obviously this weekend was the 440, so 2 races, Saturday, Sunday. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer the one per day?
So,
to be honest, I didn't mind it.
Whilst we were driving to Taylor, I was chatting with Bryce, our favourite fan. Yep. And we both... Shout out, Bryce. We both had... We had a chat, us two. I don't mind the Sydney... the night race, but that only really worked at night. So what I propose, and people don't get too angry with me, but what I propose is that why don't they do practice 1? You don't need a practice 2, but if you want to do it, squeeze it in, fine, doesn't bother me. But then have a qualifying session on the Friday, sorry. Just to bring some sort of importance to the Friday. Right, and then you can either have both the Saturday, like both sessions for the Saturday races, or you just have one, because in the track temperature would be different. It'll throw more spanners in the works. Imagine if they had a Saturday, let's call it AM race, qualifying session on the Friday. That's at track temperature 20 degrees, and then you get there on Saturday morning. It's boiling hot. Do a qualifying session for the later race that day, and it's, I don't know, 30-degree track. The times will be topsy-turvy throughout the whole session.
True. What if they were to do, obviously, qualifying Friday, but the progressive grid, but the second race is a reverse grid?
Have supercars ever done reverse grids?
which got pretty wild.
I don't think reverse grids are necessary. Maybe just to continue. Bryce said this too. He suggested just a continuous grid. Progressive grid, that's what you call it. Yeah,
so like the race 1 results is the start for 2.
Correct. You just do a qualifying session on Friday for Saturday's first race. Do it, and also the times. We have to work out times.
Yes.
Supercars, never do 8-minute qualifying sessions again. They are rubbish. Never do 30-minute sessions because I don't know what bloody session it is in the session. Because you don't put a graphic on. And
maybe tell us what's going on.
Yeah, tell us what session it is. If someone's tuning in like I was a bit late, I don't know which session it is. Also, my best suggestion is just do like a 15-20 minute session, just one. Just one. Even at races that do have shorter distances, like tracks have shorter distances, because you have 20 minutes of opportunity to get a lap time in. Yeah. I'm sure you can get one in.
If it works for Formula 1, it works for here.
Yeah, I don't mind the progressive grid. Just tell me which session it is.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Exactly. We just want to know what's going on.
Also, the problem with that was there was huge gaps in between sessions where the drivers... I don't like the big gaps. So what I mean by this is if you weren't paying attention, that the drivers were getting out of the cars in between sessions.
And having a coffee.
Pretty much. And they were changing the car. No, you don't change the car. Whatever you've done...
You shouldn't be allowed to do anything.
Deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Deal with it. So the drivers shouldn't be getting out the cars like in Formula 1. Just have a 5-minute gap, sit there, breathe, go out again. If you want to have a half an hour time slot, make it... Alright, maybe you have the 8-minute sessions there. 8 minutes, no. 4-minute break, 8 minutes again. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Yeah. 8 minutes, 4-minute break, 8 minutes, 4-minute break.
Yeah. Just do that.
And tell us.
Let us know.
Please tell us. Anyway, that was my rant for the schedule. But looking at the schedule, this 440 thing is going to happen for...
It's happening for Tassie.
It's happening for Perth. Darwin Triple Crown doesn't say. They have the Friday race, don't they?
Yes, I believe so.
And Townsville.
Which Darwin, I don't mind because of the Darwin Triple Crown, and I always say there needs to be 3 races.
Yeah, it makes sense. Townsville also has the 500, which would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Which is the same format, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and Gold Coast. And then we're back to a 440 for Ipswich, for QR, and then the Enduro style. By the way, you can get tickets for the QR race for only $15, starting from.
Is that
very cheap. It's probably just a kids' Friday, I guess.
No, it's 150. They don't actually want to tell us about the extra zero.
But the Adelaide race says tickets are from $842. So
from?
Yeah, that's got to be a glitch.
Thank God for MediaPass.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I'm assuming we're not going to see a Friday race until Darwin. Yeah. Okay.
Do you prefer the Saturday?
I don't mind it. I think it was really good for us though because the time zones helped. Like we're watching racing at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
You know when they introduced it in 2014, were you the ones against it or for it?
What do you mean?
So you remember 2014? Before that, it was one long race Saturday, one long race Sunday. But then they went to 2 races Saturday, 1 long race Sunday.
Am I for or against that? Is that what you're asking?
Were you at the time, or if you remember, were you against the idea of that? Did you prefer the 2 long ones, or did you like the 2 sprints and 1 long one?
I like the sprints.
Yeah, because I liked it back in 2014.
Yeah, no, I've said this for years. Like, to be brutally honest, when you just said that, I said, "What are you talking about?" in my head, because I was 14 years old. I don't remember any of that. I think I was just watching Scott McLaughlin tear up a Volvo.
I specifically remember because it created one of the best races of all time.
Yeah, no, I don't have really good history memory, if I'm being honest, even about anything. Yeah, besides that. No, I've always hated the 2 long Sunday races. I think they're boring. You need to switch it up a little bit. To be brutally honest, I'm kind of not for long races in general, just full stop. It just becomes too stagnant.
They can really easily, yeah. Because obviously I do like an endurance. But sprint races when they can just go for it is pretty cool.
Well, I think this is why I've been a fan of NASCAR for a little bit, is because even though they have really, really long races, they break it up into stages.
Split up, yeah.
They break it up into stages, which I'm kind of for that. Not that I'm saying supercars need it. I don't think they're there because the races aren't long enough.
I don't think it works for supercars.
I think they should have it F1 halfway.
You reckon?
Oh, just because this,
after lap 2, it's like, we can do this.
Especially
Japan.
Suzuka needs something. Suzuka could have used F2 cars on the track, throw in the mix, something. They needed something. But back to supercars. No, I'm really happy with what supercars have done this year. I'm very for everything they've done has been an improvement. Just tell me what fucking qualifying session it is. That's all I want.
Please zoom into your face. That was the best thing.
Yeah, I stared at the camera on purpose.
But no, seriously, what they're doing is fantastic, except for the parts that they're not doing.
Do you know why? It's because they're too scared to fix the graphics. It'll just break. Alex, we're not going to tell you what session it is because it'll break. And I believe you.
Just look at Natsoft instead.
Yeah, I believe them too.
But yeah, no, that threw me out the qualifying. But overall, the racing was really good this weekend.
It was mega.
I really, really enjoyed it, and I think we're in for a good year. I'm excited to see how they go in Tassie coming up. We saw a pretty crazy Trans Am race happen a couple of weeks ago. So, what do you reckon?
Oh no, I'm all for it. Like, there's actually not a round that I'm not looking forward to. Oh, maybe the bend. That's gonna be fucking snooze fest. But you know what I mean.
You're not going. You're bent.
Exactly. No, but I think just the sprint formats is wild. It's going to be killer. Yeah. But even when we finish the sprint section of the year, besides Bathurst and the Bend, the racing is still going to be awesome because there's 3 races.
Yeah, exactly.
And I am very for that.
This tyre that they're on might actually mean Bathurst can actually race.
Let's talk about that. What did you think of the tyres? That's the super softs that they were running.
Not too bad.
Let's ask everyone but Will Brown. Because he had a shocker on those tyres. What was interesting though was, once again, supercars being supercars. I'm going to mention qualifying again, because in between sessions they changed tyres.
Which one?
In between the double sessions of qualifying, for race 1 and 2, they changed the tyre sets. Which, I don't know.
Can you do that for Formula 1 though? Can drivers do that?
No. That's not what I meant. What I meant was, for the first session they used the softs.
Oh.
The second session they used super softs.
That's what I mean. Can you do that in Formula 1? Change compounds?
You can, but you wouldn't because soft is better. The only time they do this is in the sprint qualifying sessions. They run SQ1 hard, SQ2 medium, SQ3 softs, which is the exact same as this.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the I don't know. Did they change tires in the races though? Because that we need.
That is what I don't think they did, but that's what we need.
No, because they did. They ran the first, or I can't keep up.
I didn't keep an eye on what happened.
One of the races on Saturday was the Super Soft. I can't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it was the second one.
Yeah. Because
that's the same tire that they qualified on.
Yeah.
And then
but we do need mixed tire races, especially Bathurst this year. That must be a must.
Is it set like that or no?
I don't know. Supercars don't like telling us.
Yeah. I know. Very aware.
Maybe it's just because they plan on changing it a week before. Like, they don't even know what they're going to do. So they're just, we just don't want. We won't.
They'll just rock up on the Thursday and be like, yeah, all right, let's do this.
They're actually going to be racing on wets.
Actually, I'm quite keen for a wet race this year. Obviously, we didn't have the one in Melbourne because F1 are just too
if
strict.
it ends up like Melbourne, then I'm not looking forward to it. But that was FIA. This isn't FIA.
No.
So no, I'm excited overall for the season. I think we're in for a really, really good year. What they're doing right now as an organisation is they're trying to make the sport better, and that's exactly what it's happening at.
It's improving. It's definitely improving.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a few tweaks must be made, aka timing, and actually more information for the fans. And eventually, I actually really like the idea, even though they will lose a lot of money, but the fan engagement will go is put it on YouTube. Because we were talking about this about what were we talking about? We were talking about a category that was broadcasting
This
specifically
week's.
on YouTube.
Oh, which one was it?
There was anyway. The idea was fantastic.
Formula E
I love Formula E does the practices live. I think I don't know, but IMSA and that have their races.
Yeah, IMSA.
On YouTube. Yeah, which I think is the right way to go. Everyone and their dog can access YouTube, right? And maybe YouTube is better than free TV. Obviously, those companies pay Supercars to be on there.
Yeah.
To get the rights,
this,
which obviously makes sense.
This is the problem, which is what you're saying is logical, but won't happen.
But financially, not.
No.
But at least have maybe it'll be good to have like NASCAR do a good job with this. They broadcast on Fox, but they end up uploading the full race to YouTube eventually.
I will say though, Supercars have improved their YouTube game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They've improved that. I will give you a clap for that. Good job. Because, when the occasion that I have missed a session, even a practice session, there's enough information there to tell me what's happened. But their race...
They do a good job with the extended highlight.
Yeah, their race highlights are like 15 minutes long, which is more than enough.
I think they've copied how F1 does it. It's just fantastic. I like how F1 does it.
Well, F1 doesn't have as much action. Yeah.
Japan was only a minute long.
Should be 8 seconds long. But yeah, no, I'm all for what they're doing. So keep it up.
Yeah, definitely. I just wish we could maybe just get more access for people. To grow the fan base a little bit more. Obviously, but I still love the broadcast. I love what they do with KO and Fox. Don't get me wrong. I just want a bit more accessibility for people who can't afford that or anything like that.
Yeah, I think though that's just it's not just Supercars that have this problem.
No, well F1 obviously, MotoGP is like that. Indy's on Stan.
Yeah, but other sports too. Like you got Indy's on Stan, A League's on Paramount. What else?
AFL will have exclusive rounds on KO.
Yeah,
as well.
It's all going to change. And you mentioned this idea of going to YouTube, but I think what's going to happen is them actually moving to another streaming software, like Stan or. Wasn't there a rumor about it ages ago with Paramount Plus?
There was, but I think I got debunked.
Good. Look, I got no idea. I got no problem with Fox. I'd personally rather have Foxtel /KO. Versus any other one because I have AFL, F1, MotoGP.
Yeah, I love all that.
I'd rather have that still. I've got no problem with paying the money for KO. Please don't go to any other platform because
don't go to Stan or Amazon.
We just don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think though this year's racing is providing a very nice, I guess, what am I trying to say? The racing's promoting the category really well. And I think that's why Toyota's joining next year and whatnot. Should we just chat about Toyota real quick? Who do you want to see as a team go to Toyota? Because whatever car they have, I think it's going to make some very good-looking cars. And you created a post about BJR going to them, and that RNJ Batteries Supra.
It looks amazing.
Not too shabby.
No, and AI made that, by the way. I just want to make that clear. but it looked really cool. I can see them going there, but they will have to downsize to 2. I don't see them doing both.
Oh.
4 cars. Maybe Premiere.
Yeah. Well, they've been screwed by GM.
Well, yeah.
I got another question for you, which I think's just now left by memory. Great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The contact between Kostecki and Mostert instantly after the race. Does Supercars need to review their wheels for these wheel-to-wheel crashes? Because the spoke on Kostecki's car actually broke, which is a safety problem, I should say. So, look, obviously this is one incident, but it's happened a few times where they've just gone.
The amount of wheel issues Gen 3 have had.
Well, this is my question, and if they do change the wheels, please make black wheels permanent.
Every car. Actually, yeah, that's a rule. Done. And I can just exchange wheels.
I'm pretty sure in
cheaper.
Formula E they're black wheels.
Well, black wheels always look better and everything. Are they?
They are. Oh, it's just Supercars.
Definitely.
Get rid of these freaking chrome wheels. They look like crap.
I don't mind the chrome. Black is better. We saw that with Ivan's RX8. Actually, Ivan's Hyper Racer even had black wheels.
Did. So, like, Formula 2 have, like, a grey. Grey's not terrible, but just chrome looks like garbage. I actually, if everyone's going to hate me, but I actually hate chrome, like, full stop. Like, I just hate
I like Google Chrome. What McLaren used. McLaren used Google Chrome.
So the new F3 cars have black wheels.
Really? That's why they're good. We're going completely off topic.
God. No, we're not going off topic. If Supercars change their wheels, put them all black.
They'll become a Formula 3 car.
Or Formula E. That's fine. Anyway, that's just my rant.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's
wrap this up so you can stare at those black wheels a little bit longer. But now, overall, really, really good weekend. Really happy, really positive. And I'm keen to see how they go Tassie and for the remainder of the year. I'm excited. So many title contentions. There's so many drivers that can actually do it this year, and I'm really, really excited for it.
100%, man. We got top 6. We got four Mustangs, two Chevys. If you go top 8, we got 4 and 4. So if you go top 10, it's actually 5 and 5. I just kept going down. But the championship is just extremely close, and that's what we want to see. Like, I still don't understand the points system from Supercars because it's dodgy.
I think we just need a bit more consistency from them.
The points?
Just in general. Supercars need to be a bit more consistent with what they do. Explain, I guess, every now and again, because I've actually forgotten from last year when they actually explained to us what everything's happening. But I think, just more consistency, fix your timing issues, just a small little nicks and crannies. But they might be small, but they're really, really crucial. Polished look.
Well, you know what's crazy? I'm just looking at the standings here on Supercars website, and the top 6, none of them have the same amount of wins and poles. None of them. So, like, Will Brown's got 1 win, no poles. Cam Waters, 3 wins, 2 poles. Matt Payne, 1 win, 2 wins, no poles.
0 poles, yeah.
Feeney, 1 win, 4 poles.
Yeah.
Mostert, 1 win, no poles. And Kostecki, neither or both. And he's still in the top 5 out of 6.
Didn't he get pole Sunday?
Good point.
Hang on, Supercars haven't updated.
Oh, that's standard, though. That's standard. He got 2, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure.
He
definitely got it Sunday.
He definitely got one Sunday.
He got provisional pole and then pole.
And put it in. All right, fine. I'll reset the last one. 0 wins, 1 pole. Thank you. But no, you're right. He did get a pole.
In a very dirty, busted up car. But let us know in the comments what you thought of the weekend. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Are you excited to see how the year goes? Are you just them bored because we do get a lot of people comment saying Supercars is dead when it's clearly not, but it is what it is. But yeah, be sure to subscribe and like for all our content. We'll keep you up to date on every supercar news. Check out our website as well for all of that as well. All our social medias in the description. And by the way, if you're heading to Bathurst this weekend for Bathurst 6 Hour, see you there. We'll be teaming up with Formula RX8 this weekend. So really, really excited to head there tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, we're flying there tomorrow. I just can't wait for the weekend. Like, there's 41 Trans Ams.
It's wild.
19 RX8s who are going to combine the field with the Pulsar grid. What else? The 6 hour event, aren't there like 70 or not 70, but
72. Pretty sure it's 72. It's a lot. It's a massive field.
That's incredible.
And even when you say about the Pulsars too, like they're about like what 15, 16 minimum cars on that grid. So we're going to have about 30 to 40.
If you can, I can't think of a better way to spend your Easter than at Bathurst.
Gee Louise. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
As you can see, we're very planned.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Are these
17,
categories?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
Counting.
25. 25 Pulsars and 19 RX8s all on the same track.
Wow, so 44.
And also, Tabitha Ambrose is racing a Pulsar.
There you go.
There you go. That's just a side note, but that's insane. I think this is fantastic for categories.
Oh man, it's wild event.
Fantastic for Australian motorsport to have this many entries in a production car weekend. It's really, really cool. Can't wait. So
I know that these cars don't compare to Bathurst 12-hour GT cars, but Bathurst 12-hour, learn something.
yeah, well, we had
This is
20
actually
hours
a
or something.
race. They had like 18 cars by the end of it. This is actually a proper race.
Exactly. Learn
So
something.
yeah, keen for this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So I hope to see you there. If you're there, feel free to come say hi. We're not going to bite, maybe. But we'll see you this weekend. Safe travels if you do go. If you're watching on TV, safe travels to your couch. And I hope you have a great weekend overall. And we'll see you next week for more motorsport content.
And happy Easter. Bye.
And happy Easter as well. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Bye.